BTS News. JFK Airport, New York, a place usually bustling with the hurried footsteps of travelers and the constant echo of flight announcements, was anything but ordinary today. Instead, a wave of screams, panicked voices, and the urgent tension of security forming a human barricade engulfed the international terminal. And all of this erupted within seconds, moments that revealed the arrival of a name no stranger to the global entertainment world, Jungkook. But this wasn't just any arrival. It may very well be one of the most confusing and shocking artist entries in K-pop history. There was no official announcement of his arrival, no concert schedule, no published interviews. Even HYB, his agency, had said nothing about his presence in the United States. Yet somehow, word leaked. Hundreds of armies crowded the terminal's exit before dawn. Some held banners, others clutched phones with live streams running, hoping to be the first to capture a glimpse of the golden magne. And they got their moment. At exactly 11:47 a.m. local time, the VIP doors slowly creaked open. Two figures, dressed head to toe in black, rushed through. One wore an oversized hoodie and bucket hat. The other had a thick mask covering nearly their entire face under a leather jacket. But one thing couldn't be hidden: those eyes. The quick scan toward the crowd, the unmistakable spark beneath the dark shades. It was Jungkook. The crowd exploded. Screams peaked. Camera flashes went off in a frenzy. Airport security struggled to hold back the mass surge. One fan even managed to break through the barrier, stumbling dangerously close to Jungkook. And in that split second, as caught by a fan's camera, Jungkook was briefly pulled back, a shocked expression flashing across his face. But it wasn't fear in his eyes, it was disappointment. What on earth was going on? Why had Jungkook shown up unannounced in an American airport, without his full staff, without his main manager, without a word from HYB? Was he running away from something? Or was there something much bigger being hidden? Just hours after the airport incident, a 12-second video clip began to go viral. In it, Jungkook could be seen turning around and saying something in a hushed but intense voice to someone behind him. "Don't follow me. I'll handle this myself." That one line was enough to spark a wildfire of speculation online. Who was he talking to? What exactly did he need to handle alone? Netizens went wild with theories. Some claimed Jungkook was in the midst of a conflict with HYB management. Others believed his visit to America had nothing to do with music, but rather with a secret project the agency did not approve of. One international fanbase on X, formerly Twitter, even posted a long thread suggesting Jungkook had entered a phase of creative liberation, a time where he rejected all scripted schedules and contracts, refusing to be an industry product, choosing instead to be an independent artist, even if just for a while. Was it true? Local media reached out to HYB for comment, but hours passed with no official response. What came instead was something no one expected. Park Jimin broke the silence. Via Instagram story, he posted a photo of the dark New York night sky with a single sentence: "Even stars sometimes need silence." No names, no context, but armies instantly understood who he meant. Jimin was known to still be in Seoul. He was last seen at the big hit studio 4 days earlier, wearing the same jacket he wore at an award show in Japan. But since then, nothing. No live streams, no Weverse updates, no scheduled events. And now, just as Jungkook appears out of nowhere in New York, Jimin posts something that sounds eerily like silent support. Later that evening, a local radio reporter in Brooklyn claimed to have spotted Jungkook in a quiet corner cafe. He wore the same hoodie, sat alone, ordered a single black coffee. No one dared approach. But according to one barista, he looked like someone who had lost his way, but still knew he had to keep going. By the next day, the entire world was watching. News outlets scrambled to find more information. Some tried locating his hotel. Others traced fan-recorded GPS signals. But all trails went cold. Jungkook had vanished, until a new mystery emerged 2 days after the airport chaos. A video appeared on a small, almost anonymous YouTube channel titled JK Record 0.0. The video showed someone playing the piano, only hands and part of a silhouette visible. But the voice that sang over those keys? Unmistakable. It was Jungkook. The song had never been heard before. Armies swore they didn't recognize the melody. The lyrics were simple, but hit hard. When I fall, don't lift me. Just watch, I'll rise on my own. Panic turned to awe. Within 3 hours, the channel gained hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Fans flooded the comments. But the biggest shock lay in the video description, which read, "Not for the industry. This is for me. And for those who understand." Speculation exploded again. Was Jungkook not just avoiding publicity, but openly declaring his independence? Not from BTS, but from expectation itself. But the story wasn't over. 3 days after that video dropped, a paparazzo caught something no one expected. Jungkook entering an underground recording studio in Soho, New York. The real shock. Jimin was inside waiting for him. A photo of the two sitting side by side behind the studio's glass window went viral within minutes. Jungkook appeared to be speaking passionately, while Jimin bit his lower lip. A classic sign he was holding back emotion. Was this the beginning of the secret Jungkook project fans had only dreamed about? Or was this something bigger, deeper, a rebellion against the system that controlled their every move? After that moment, the world realized something. This wasn't about fans mobbing an airport. This was the quiet revolution of a global artist long seen as obedient, smiling, and predictable. Now, Jungkook didn't just want to sing, he wanted to be heard on his terms. In his voice, "To many armies." This wasn't shocking at all. They had always seen it in his eyes, that one day, he'd walk his own path. Not because he was rejecting BTS, but because he loved himself and his music so deeply, he could no longer compromise. Whatever happened at JFK that day, one thing was clear. The world wasn't ready for the real Jungkook. But he was. And this might be just the beginning. The photo of Jungkook and Jimin sitting in that studio window became a new kind of symbol. For some, it proved there was no real rift between them, only illusions. But for others, it raised bigger questions. If they're both in New York, quietly, without HYBE's presence, what are they planning? And why so secretly? HYBE remained silent. NO staff were seen near the studio. No security detail. No logistic vans. Only a single black sedan parked nearby. Its license plate wasn't Korean. It was from New Jersey. Meanwhile, armies divided. Some cheered this bold move, calling it the birth of the Jungkook freedom era. Others worried. Could this really be the beginning of a goodbye? Were they starting something personal, outside of BTS? But then, one final twist turned everything upside down. At 1:16 a.m. local time. Under a light New York drizzle, the studio's lights suddenly cut out. Fans watching from a distance noticed immediately. 5 minutes later, the studio doors opened. Out walked the same two figures. This time, Jimin was holding an old-school handycam in his hand. He lifted it, gave a small smile toward the few fans watching, and Jungkook stood silently beside him. Before they got into the car, Jimin called out softly, "We're not running away, we're creating something for you." The car drove off slowly, disappearing into the misty Soho night. But the internet, it caught fire. What do they mean by creating something for you? Is it a secret album? Is this the duo project? Whatever it is, it has already begun.